It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. As Dawn has lost her phone and she has everybody going nuts. Oh, fine.
There you go.
And
this
you
is our
can
guest.
tell Sticker's on the board because he shortens everything.
And Vinny bows as he gives me my phone.
Oh my God, help us. Welcome to Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Nice, proper, nice air. We got new friends in the house. We got old friends in the house. We got PBS. We got all the kids running around. And this is our new
I love
piece.
this. We need to name this.
We named it.
What's the name of it?
What do we call it?
You named it.
It was called Rising to the Top.
Oh, I like that. This
This
is
is
created
going
by
to-
Max Lazega. This is amazing.
This is going to be the new emblem for our record studio.
I was thinking that's a great
for
idea,
Star
actually.
International.
That's a great idea. This is unbelievable. And it just lights up the whole thing. These are CDs and put together as a beautiful sculpture, and it totally is timely to go with Stars International Recording Studio.
It's funny. This guy can make anything out of anything.
Oh, I have some old pieces to this piano. The pedals broke. They gave us a new layer, I guess that's what it's called, and all the old pedals. And they said, should we throw them away? And Amy
Never
Reshevsky
throw things
said-
like that away.
Well, that's what Amy Reshevsky, she goes, no, give them to Max, and he'll make something from it. So I have it in my dressing area. I've got pedals and wood, and she goes, Max will make something from it.
Okay.
This piano was my great-grandmother's, my great-great-grandmother's. It's 102 years old.
Wow.
So I could not throw the pedals away, but I did not know what to do with them. So you have been commissioned to make a piece.
I will figure something out.
That is what we were told. Amy's like, just give it to Max. Do not throw it away.
This guy builds everything out of everything. He was a GC. Did you know that?
I know, and well, you
And
know a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
tell you,
to
you know what he
create
told
this.
me? You know what he told me?
But
You could put a second floor in here.
Oh, without a doubt. This is a loft.
A loft.
can you imagine?
It's like a big
Tina's like, without a doubt.
Give Tina a hammer. She'll get on it right now.
But we got a lot of great stuff. We've got some new friends in the house that are joining us through vMix. We're going to Manchester, England today at 1 o'clock to talk with Tony Mackenzie on your flight to happiness. I was reading it last night, and he goes, what are you reading? A book. About what? Happiness. Tune into the show is all I can tell you. Want to know what I'm reading?
You're a little bit grouchy.
I'm not grouchy.
I'm reading a happy book.
I'm reading a happy book.
Reading a happy book.
Well, it was like
You know, The Exorcist used to say something about God too, and her head spun.
Clarice is coming out, so be careful.
Where is she?
No, I don't mean that Clarice. I mean the movie Clarice.
Yes.
But yes, on our 1 o'clock hour, we're talking to Tony Mackenzie of Your Flight to Happiness. We have a guest on vMix, Juliana Fetherman, joining us on Making Authentic Friendships. And it is a new app for kids or young adults with autism on how to make friends, especially during this pandemic. So she's on
That's an
vMix right now.
interesting concept.
And her brother motivated her to do it. They tell me she's on vMix.
Okay.
So we're going to bring
Wanna
her
bring her
over and
over?
talk to her. But give us a call. Our phone lines are open. Test our board ops, 888-994-4995. PBS has bought 3 masks already of the Brooklyn Cafe show. So he loves them. He said he's going to wear it, and then he's going to hang it up as like, I don't know.
PBS bought 3 masks?
Yes,
You know, PBS has a lot of family.
I know.
I mean, he's like a village, this guy.
So yeah, he bought one. He's got one. He's coming in tomorrow to buy another one. But these masks are for sale. The
Vinny,
Brooklyn Cafe.
Make sure all those mics
They
are
were
lit.
created by Dia Coley, our teenpreneur who hosts the Teenpreneur Show. It launched last week. You can find it on Teenpreneur Show page all over social media. Her website launched yesterday. You should see the amount of
Calls?
texts that she's getting. I can see because I'm admin on her account. Over and over, and people are messaging her to be on it. And if you're interested, if you are a teen entrepreneur, a teen in business, and you are interested in being on the Teenpreneur Show that airs live every Friday at 5 o'clock, just go on to Instagram, you can go on to Facebook, you can find teenpreneurshow.com and fill out the form, and she is going through all the pitches to find the right guests.
So she has a call to action for teenpreneurs. That's very interesting.
So I told our crew, she's really the extension of our 2020 crew. She's just the younger demographic.
It
So I
might be
want
right
them all
up
to
your
work
alley
together.
there, Missy Fu.
Oh, absolutely. I know that already. Yes.
Oh, you
So-
knew that already? You knew it before me?
I knew that. No, I've been trying to work with the autistic group. And then it became COVID. And because of COVID, everything sort of shut down. But now things are starting to rejuvenate.
And I spoke to our friends from Sensibility yesterday, and they are working on sponsorship for their new radio show. But they got involved with someone from 90 Day Fiancé. And this person that they got involved with, a 90 Day Fiancé, in 2 weeks, they doubled the amount of manufacturing they did for the entire year.
Wow.
So between
Say that again.
2 weeks working with
No, not
someone,
that part. What's it called?
90 Day Fiancé.
So you rent a fiance?
You're supposed to meet the person and get engaged within 90 days and get married.
And I'm going to open up the second part about the divorce in 80 days.
But that wasn't the point. The point was
That's amazing.
Sensibility. This person,
Sensibility says 98 fiance. That's even more rich.
Sensibility, they doubled their
Wow.
production in 2
Really?
weeks from their entire year. They
my
said they
God.
had many candles in 2 weeks to make as they had the entire year because of the exposure they got on 90 Day Fiancé.
But that makes sense. I guess you bring candles to your lift.
Isn't that unbelievable? So that is something, our call this morning, that I want to
Wow.
try and bring
You
that
didn't even
forward.
tell me these things.
I don't talk
Why
to you
is
a
it-
whole lot.
Why is it you keep stuff?
Because I do a lot of stuff here when you leave. So I'm here
When I
late.
leave, I've been talking to you since 8 o'clock,
That- this was
8:45 this
yesterday.
morning.
This was yesterday.
I'm going to tell you, we're not communicating. I
We
need
got
you
a
to
lot
make me
going
a puppet, one of those robot things that goes like this. Can you do that for me?
And,
Can you do that?
and normally, you know, we do not cover politics on the Brooklyn Cafe show, and you always see our logo behind us. But right now, what you are seeing are the impeachment hearings that are going on that our crew, we thought very timely that we're not talking about it, but we need to address the giant elephant that is affecting the world right now. So that is actually rolling on right behind us. So
And
that
you
is
see- you
live
see-
streaming.
This is the agreeing to the resolution for impeachment. You have the Democrats at 217 yes, Republicans 203 no, and then you have independents no votes, so it's 217 to 203.
What do they need?
I believe it's 240 something. Oh no, it's over.
It's
Time
over.
remaining
So
is
do we
over.
know what happened?
Yeah, you have a yay because you have more yes than no.
Yeah, but I don't think, doesn't there have to be a majority of a number?
What's
I think
gonna
it's
happen now?
217.
Huh?
It's 217.
That's the number. And what's going to happen now is they are going to elect 5 people which already been named, and they are going to present a case to the Senate, and then the Senate will have the yay or nay. And if it's yes, then he's impeached. If it's no, which is what everybody's anticipating, then they go back and forth and blah, blah, blah. And by that time, he'll be out of office, allegedly.
Allegedly. Wow.
But it is history in the making, so we decided to put that up there.
History in the
And
making.
whoever, who put this together?
Teddy and Slick, I think.
Slick? Congratulations, because it just shows you, you know, there is a way that I could put the ticker tape.
I
of
think
the
it was
news.
PBS's idea. He said, can we, or some, I don't know, who said, can we put on live coverage? So,
Who did it?
oh, Blake. I
think it
knew it was
was him.
someone's idea. Blake, it
Oh,
was
Blake
Blake's
did it?
idea, and he left.
Wow, that kid goes to school.
Because he goes to school, he's learning. He's teaching us is what he's
teaching us.
doing.
That was pretty good.
The interns
Did you know
are
how to
teaching
do it?
us.
You better know how to do it.
I'll try.
No pun intended.
But anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on at Amp Media Production Studios. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Juliana Fetherman, Making Authentic Friendships. I found this article about her on Good News Network, which I read every morning as opposed to the other stuff. And I thought her story was compelling. Our producers reached out to her. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
To everyone you miss, hugs and smiles will make the world a better place, and heals the heart with a smile on your face.
Hugs and Smiles Foundation was formed on the basis of giving kids the opportunity to learn and grow with art and music. Our classes are made for kids to express themselves in an open and free environment. If you want to donate or help run the class, contact Tina Weiss at 954-501-0524 or at tina@hugsandsmiles.org. All the memorabilia sold at the Brooklyn Cafe goes right back to the foundation to help Hugs and Smiles keep going. If you want to purchase a piece of art or memorabilia, contact Tina Weiss at 954-501-0524 or at tina@hugsandsmiles.org.
Hey, the music, art, and dance, and holding hands, we could take a stand. And with a smile, you make my dreams come true. Then all I need is a hug, a smile from you and you.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Dignity Memorial offers dedicated discounts at need or pre-need, 10% savings all funeral and cremation services and merchandises, 10% savings any cemetery purchases or products and services. You can get this 10% discount with if you're under the Brooklyn Cafe umbrella. Now back to Don and Freddie.
Yes, in the house.
Yes, in the house. Dignity Memorial. If you listen to our show, watch our show, are affiliated with Beasley Media and anyone under our umbrella, contact Dignity Memorial. You can contact Wayne Henry at 561-654-9000. You can send them a text. They will get all your pre-need in place for you, your significant other, your children, your parents. It is a full reaching umbrella that covers anyone within our viewing, listening, and their family, because we are part of their umbrella.
And that includes radio or anything else that we do, Roku, anything else. You say you watch it in the Brooklyn Cafe, you begin at 10%, and if there are specials going on, you will get that as well.
And if you want to get your business involved in the same type of program that we are, contact Wayne and he will get you that information
What's
as
the
well.
phone number?
It is free, 561-654-9000. Call him, text him, and he will be here on Friday, always when we have our Gubba Friday with Dignity Memorial.
Yeah, his buttocks always is in that chair.
Max is there now. He's keeping it warm for Wayne. But I'm excited. We have a guest that is joining us. Her name is Juliana Fetherman, and she created an app called Making Authentic Friendships. And I was reading about her, and I looked at her website, and actually our producer, Valerie Perez, I had Val reach out to her because Val's sister is autistic. And this was right up Val's alley, and I wanted Val to interview her on Small Talk. Also, she booked her on our show, so I'm excited to bring Juliana over because in this time of a pandemic, we talk friendships, networking is really difficult for everybody. So let's meet Juliana. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We're great. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, likewise.
I'm so excited. Every morning I only read the Good News Network, and I saw an article about you and your brother, and I thought, what a great idea. So tell us about you and making authentic friendships.
Yeah, so it's inspired by my brother who has autism. MAF are also my brother's initials. And it's an app that enables individuals with any special needs, although we do focus on autism because that's what I know. But it can be any special need, help them make friends based on their age, diagnosis, interests, and geographic location.
And any age?
So it was 13 and up when we were web-based, and now due to Apple and Android's privacy policies, it's 17 and up to have a profile of your own, but if someone is younger than that, then a parent or caregiver can sign up on their behalf.
What inspired you to create an app? You are out of school or just finished up school.
Yes. So I was actually the president of the Autism Club at my college, Sacred Heart University in Connecticut, and I just loved that work I was doing, building awareness on campus and doing work for my brother. And it was a lot of work, but it never felt like a lot of work. So I decided that if I could make a business around something that's missing in my brother's life, then I could ultimately do that in the real world. And that's kind of what I did. So I started thinking about things my brother was missing. And one of the first things that came to mind was that he's very lonely. And fixing that problem is difficult because he does lack social skills and, isn't able to interact with people the way me or you can. And I figured that creating an app would be the best way to connect the most amount of people in the fastest time. So I just kind of ran with that. And I was really naive at the time, had no idea what I was getting myself into. I mean, I started this junior year of college. And once I started looking into it, like pricing of development and stuff like that, I was looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that was definitely a big adjustment I had to make because I literally was so naive and thought I could do it with my life savings. And that obviously wasn't the case. So it was much harder than I anticipated. But we persevered and pushed through, and here we are.
When did the app launch?
So the actual app launched 2 months ago, almost. And before that, we were web-based for a year and a half.
And how is it going for your brother and different kids, I want to say, young adults in the community and anywhere, because it's an app, so anyone can be a part of this?
Yeah, it's going really well. I mean, like I said, we were web-based for a year and a half before we launched on the actual app platforms, and we serve 3,100 users in all 50 states, 45 countries, 6 continents. Wow. And that was at the time of app launch 2 months ago. So pretty much the last 2 months, we've just been working on converting our web users to the app. Obviously, with the app comes more features and things like that. So we've been integrating people into that. And yeah, it's going really well.
How do you download the app? Where do you go?
So if it's an iPhone, you can go to the App Store, or if you have an Android phone, it's on Google Play.
That's pretty good.
Making authentic friendships. And is it a place for them to come together as a community? What type of security? Is there anything that you needed to do differently for this type of app as opposed to anything else because you're working with special needs?
Yeah, there was so much that had to be done differently. I mean, granted, most people can just put apps out and not worry that much about security just because people who are typical have the capabilities to kind of just know if there's danger and things like that. But obviously with our population, that's not always the case. So that's actually part of the reason why it's so long to launch, because I'm really working hard on finding the safest way to keep it safe for our users, which is obviously the number one concern. So right now we have a few things in place that have worked really well for us over the past 2 years. And that is, obviously you have to sign terms and conditions to create an account, but once you're actually on the platform, we really monitor it from the back end. So any bad or inappropriate words aren't even allowed to be typed on the platform. But if something does get through, it gets flagged in our system, and we can look at those conversations from the back end. Or every user also has the ability to report another user if they feel uncomfortable or anything like that, and they are encouraged to do so. When they sign up, there's a flyer that tells them not to give out personal information, and if you ever feel threatened or uncomfortable, to report it right away. And it's the same thing. We would look at it from the back end and decide whether that situation would warrant a warning or a ban or whatever the case may be.
You've gotten tremendous exposure, so congratulations to you for that. I mean, you've been all over national television and media and articles written internationally about you. How have you done all of that at the ripe old age of 24, 22?
24, yeah. So I have my MBA in marketing, but really I just, pitch myself to anyone who will listen, and a lot of the things I've landed, my big stuff like Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, Lifetime, really just came from pitching myself to reporters, pitching myself to producers. And, a lot of people do love the story. It comes from the heart. It's very emotional, and a lot of people kind of can understand what we're going through. And realistically, everyone kind of knows someone who has special needs, whether it's a sibling or a child or a neighbor or a cousin. So I feel like a lot of people really kind of can feel what we're going through. And I don't know if you've gotten to watch, but a lot of the interviews we do is me and my whole family, so my parents and my brother. And my mom cries every time, and it's just like a really emotional thing, and people really kind of, love that about it. So pretty much once we started getting them, they just kind of...
It's from the heart, and it's authentic, and you're right. Everyone has something, a family member knows somebody, and right now, the most important thing is being healthy and being with your family and your loved ones. And what you've put together, perfect time to bring this out. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So the app is called, it's MAF?
It's Making Authentic Friendships. MAF for short. Yeah.
You can find that on your app store on Android or iPhone. Juliana, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations to you, and stay in touch with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Pretty amazing.
It is.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice piece. Very nice. I'm impressed. Very nice.
So amazing, right?
It is, and you picked a good time today to bring it up.
Yeah, because, we plan all of this, and we know
We don't
exactly
plan
who's
any of
being
this.
booked.
I didn't even know she was coming on. That's not true.
But it's what's really nice is the way we get to work here, like a production house. We find ideas, we send them to our producers, they book it, they pitch it, and they get it done. And that's how the team rolls.
Nice, very nice.
Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Max Lazega, one of our in-house artists at the Brooklyn Cafe Show, Tina Weiss of Hugs and Smiles. And then at 1 o'clock hour, we head over to Manchester. So stay tuned, give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Robin Weiss, and I'm a rhinestone artist and rhinestone art instructor. 12 years ago, when I retired from my nail business, I decided to become a rhinestone artist. But then I soon realized there was nowhere that I could go to find the adequate combination of tools or even instructions of how to go about enjoying this craft. My passion for this beautiful medium we know as rhinestones and what I knew they could create drove me to figure out a way to create this magical craft that I now teach. I have developed the perfect rhinestone crafting starter kit, which contains the perfect rhinestone crafting pickup stick. I created this kit to help others and to show you that rhinestone crafting is a craft whose time has come. filled with fun, rhythmic, and therapeutic. The amount of items that you can cover is endless. Not to mention the places this craft will take you and the people you will meet if you should decide you want to get to artist level. You can watch my creations and watch me work on the Brooklyn Cafe TV show every Thursday, where I'll be blinging for Dawn, and sometimes Freddie. While we enjoy each other's company, I'll be bringing you the most beautiful and fun creations to inspire you to try this craft. You can also find me on Real Housewives of Bling at Instagram and also my Facebook group. That is where I'll show you all of my crystal creations while you follow me on my rhinestone journey.
Stars International is a multicultural, open-format record label with multiple production services from recording to broadcasting. On the label side, we focus on developing artists and helping them achieve their goals. On the production side, we cover anything from recording and mixing your vocals to creating your master track. We also include distribution if needed, and we have full access to TV production and on-air services to help build and create the artist you want to be. We're a fully digital studio and plan on taking music theory to the next level.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome back, people. Now we're starting a new segment called This Week in Tech. So This Week in Tech, it is the annual Consumer Electronics Showcase, or CES for those in the know. And this is just an annual convention where all the major companies that are involved in technology, telecommunications, all that stuff come together and just show off what they have for this year. Not the most interesting thing it sounds, I know, but considering that the last couple of days they have shown Samsung's new live-at-home robot, an AI that's actually capable of empathizing. Pretty much the discussions over the widespread ubiquity of 5G, whatever that is. Companies and new practices involving stay-at-home work, considering what's happening last year, and many other things. So, if this sounds like something that might interest you, feel free to look up CES 2021. Just so you can say that you saw it first just before everybody else starts talking about it. And with that, back to Don and Freddie.
5G, whatever that is.
What about that empathizes? I think that might be like the new dating situation.
A home robot that empathizes.
Right? All you need is some empathy. You don't want sympathy, and then
What's the difference?
you can turn it off.
What's empathy, the difference between that
Empathy,
and
they
sympathy?
say, means you don't really know how it feels because you haven't been there, but you empathize with the feeling like, I feel ya, but you really don't. Sympathy is you've been in the situation and you know how it feels.
Are you saying this to confuse me even further?
No, I think that's true.
You act like you know and you don't?
Yes.
Then why would you say I do?
Because you want to be there for that other person.
But
and
I don't know
say,
how to feel that way.
Well, you're empathizing. I wish I could.
I'm making believe? I'm going to make believe that I know how you feel.
That's kind of the perfect.
That nail in your head must hurt, but I don't know what that feels like.
That's
There's an apathy too?
Apathy means
Oh my
you don't
God,
really
can you
care.
put any of this on a Ritz? This is ridiculous.
Apathy is like, I really don't care how you feel. It's none of your
So
business.
we got apathy, sympathy, and empathy.
A lot of
Wow.
these. Like it does.
I'm confused.
Hey, Hector, that was a great segment, though. The tech I'm wondering if it's a virtual, since it's a tech convention, if it's all virtual. Or
It has
people
to be.
actually there. It has
Or
to be.
maybe not.
Where's your son? Doesn't he know about this tech convention?
I have no idea.
We should ask our executive producer.
Are we sure? He got mad at me. He's not talking to me.
I know.
Because I let that cat out of the bag.
I know, but it's not really out until you see it, so it's a little more empathizing than sympathizing because we haven't seen it yet.
I'm empathizing with him.
Sure. How'd those thighs going for you? It was a great segment. Check out MAF, Making Authentic Friendships, an incredible app created by Juliana Fetherman for her brother and her family, and what a great, great segment. It just shows you that you can do it with a grassroots effort. If you make your pitch and you are authentic and you are passionate about what you love to do, you can do it. She's been featured on the Today Show. She's been featured on Lifetime Channel. She's been featured nationally and internationally is how I even saw the
Does
segment.
she have a show nationally on TV?
No, she's been interviewed all over the national media, though.
She should have a show that explains the ins and outs.
But it's really great. So check that out, MAF, Making Authentic Friendships app. And we've got Tina Weiss in studio with us of Hugs and Smiles and Max Lazega. This is called Taco, Freddie?
No.
What is this called?
Rise to the top.
Rise. I love this piece. I can't, Max, you're truly remarkable at what you created.
Thank you.
Amazing. So welcome.
Thank you.
We've got so many great pieces here, and everyone comes in and they go, oh, wow, these are incredible, and the light up pieces. And you just keep making more and more. Is it difficult now without having live art shows?
Well, the art business has taken a dump since the COVID. There's no question about that. And not being able to do these shows, we're all trying to do virtual shows. This is a good platform for artists also. I recommend it highly. Get your work out there, get it out to the public.
And it's what we love to do. And what inspires you to make these spectacular pieces?
I don't know. I spent many, many years in the construction industry, and I always liked to paint on the side as a hobby. But when I retired about 13 years ago, I started painting, and I said, I want to do something more with the painting, not just an acrylic painting. I wanted to see if I could add something, a piece of hardware, a piece of something organic, possibly. And that got me started, and the more I did that, the more I kept adding more and more until I created things from trash, mostly. Recycled.
Not trash. They're amazing. So here's what I'm thinking about your Tree of Life. For someone who buys it, you can personalize it, right? So the Tree of Life, you
Absolutely.
can put on the limbs, you know, your grandparents' names, the parents' names, the siblings, and then there's branches, and it just, I think, makes such a spectacular gift for a family gift, because not only does it incorporate art, it becomes your family.
I
So
could
you're
do
gonna
that
put-
as a commission piece.
Well, that's what I'm
You're
thinking.
going to put names in that?
Well, I think it
I
would be
could.
amazing.
I could put names. I could do it as a commission piece with different colors if you don't like the blue or the red.
I just made that up, and I just threw it out on air, so he can't really say no. But imagine putting your parents' name, say Freddie, at the top, and then you've got you, your brother, and your sister on the other limbs, and then the children and the grandchildren. What an amazing legacy piece that is.
I don't know how he can do that.
How
I
could you
can
do
do
this?
I can do it. I
Really?
can do it. I could do the letters in metal, or I can do them in wood. I could do it either way.
You
Just
could
like
even-
I have
you
the
could
Tree
even
of Life,
paint
those
them,
are
but
wood.
I think what a great commission piece that would be, to truly have this Tree of Life, and then it's something that gets handed down, and as your family grows, you fill in more and more of
Like
the branches.
PBS will fill that tree and then some.
No, his father would. But
All of
think,
them
as your family grows and the grandchildren, and God willing, when they get married and have children, and that's how big these trees of life are, with the amount of branches.
Spectacular.
And actually, Amy has a show coming in today, and it is a big part with Temple Bethel of Boca Raton, and they've got a huge Tree of Life in their foyer with the different leaves, and you can, of course, sponsor and buy a leaf for your family. This would be a great piece for them as well.
It is. It's very smart. It's a smart and practical way of doing it. Now, the red one I noticed is palm leaves, right?
It's a Florida Tree of Life.
It is. And then
It's a palm tree.
palm
It's a
trees.
palm
And then the
tree,
blue
Florida
one
tree.
and the orange one are two different trees that has leaves on it.
Well, there's different types of palm trees in Florida.
I could see that. And they're all in here.
And,
And then you have the big one underneath, which I think is spectacular. Now, all of that is done in wire, Max?
No, nails, mostly nails.
Nails.
Nails and wire.
Holy smokes.
Nails come in all sizes, down to a 1/2 inch in size. And I have to work with a tweezer and my strong eyeglasses.
I was going to say, it's got to be hard to put all these pieces together.
It's a whole process that I do. And it's all coated with an epoxy resin, so they'll never fall off of there.
Max, have you always been an artist this way?
I've always been creative.
Because you were a GC.
I was a GC.
By trade, right?
By trade.
How many years were you a GC?
About 45 years.
So I heard that you helped build Empire State Building and this
No,
and
I
that.
did mostly smaller stuff.
Smaller.
But I did learn, as I went along, I learned to do every trade. I could do any of the trades that build any house. I could build a house myself.
Really?
I know how to do plastering. I know how to do electrical, plumbing.
I should have called you
can
in
do
on
everything.
Saturday.
I'm hiring him.
I could lay blocks when I was younger. I could build fireplaces. I can do anything in
Get a
construction.
fireplace in here.
Oh, here we go.
Years ago, I hired a guy, a New York Italian guy, older guy, and he was one of the craftsmen in New York that used to build stuff in New York. You know, I learned from him, and it carried on through my business.
Now, do you have people that you send out to do jobs, or are you retired
No, I'm
permanently?
totally retired.
Really? Because I had a roof I needed repair. Was
Okay. I was licensed for roofing too in that day.
You were?
Oh yeah.
Can you fix a roof?
I know how
Can
to
you
fix
tell me
it.
how to fix a roof?
Of course.
He
Take
thinks
a picture of it and I'll tell you what
He
to do.
thinks I'm kidding.
No, yeah, he can't put Max on your roof.
I'm going up there.
You're not going on
He
your
said,
roof.
take a picture, take video. Where you
You're
at?
crazy. Because your roof is like,
You know what to do now.
your roof you told me is how high?
It's up there.
Yeah.
But so is the ladder. It's not like I'm going to scale this thing.
But I love the pieces that Max creates. And this blue one, the resin piece, I love
And
that
the smaller
You
one
can
is
tell
to the
that
right.
I love doing it too. It's my life. That's what I do.
one. He came in, he was looking for the purple one that we have in Studio A. He said, where'd we put that? Where'd we put it? And you love that one.
I did. I put that one so I could see it every morning because we do the morning show in there. And you got to come in and you know, production is all about energy. You got to bring it. And when everybody else is crying around you still got to bring it. You got to bring it. And that to me is good morning. I'm here. It's like that piece in that window. That's a famous artist of ours as well, a friend of ours. I love that piece.
I should have Robin put some sparkles on that
Well, that's
piece.
spectacular. And people keep changing and I put it right back. And it's just like these pieces. I like that little robot. He says, I'm going to take it to make it so you can plug it in. Every time I tell him, no, don't take it because I'm afraid it may not come back.
And Studio B, actually, I had called Teddy in there because she was going to do a show in there. And the angles on it, the studio looks so beautiful now. They had angled the camera that it had the door and the window curtain.
That was the host wanted it in that direction.
Okay, well, I didn't like that direction, so I went
I told him that.
And I said to Teddy, can we change this angle up? So what I want to do, I want someone to go into Studio B with their phone or their laptop and vMix from our Aurora room.
Oh, that's
so they
right.
can see how beautiful it actually looks.
Can we get a vMix crew into Studio B, please?
Because it's all about perception and the feel. When you walk into it, that's what made me think of it when you said that. When we paint and redid it, it's not only what people are going to see on camera because they see us sitting here, they see you guys in that chair. But it's the whole feel of when you come into the space, what it looks like, what it feels like. Anyone who walks past Studio B, you want it to be inviting for people who are here, and you want it to be inviting for those that are watching so they feel like they're right there with you.
That's right. You know, Hugs and Smiles is a magical, magical ride that you're taking. And part of that ride is that people got to feel it. You know, like what he does. This is touchable.
This is amazing.
And feelable. And
Can you see this as a nightclub and emit just like
But this, I want to use this for
CD?
the record label because it's perfect for exactly what's going on with us right now. We got our first CD out there, Margot, and she's all over. Now it's going into Chicago. I just sent it to my cousins in Chicago because I want everybody to hear it. But, I mean, you think about it. It's how you see something and you perceive it, and then you energize it, you know, and it helps your cause, the Hugs and Smile, with the kids and everything else. I was talking to her about the kids that came in here that did the Nutcracker because she did the Hugs and Smiles. I get it. and she wants to cut it up. I get it. But I want those kids back. I want to do what we did when we opened up that bay door and they put that whole nutcracker thing together. That to me is today, putting his pieces around those kids. That to me is the message. And you're right, that's what happens in that room. Now everybody wants to film in that room.
I know, I got a text yesterday that she gets distracted. We have a host that gets distracted in here because there's a lot going on. And when you're hosting, if you can't focus, oh, and there's Studio B. Look how beautiful that looks. I guess they got it on vMix. I don't
Look
know
at
who's
that.
in there, but that looks pretty amazing.
Move it around, move it
And
around.
that is the Aurora studio. It looks amazing.
That has to be Teddy, because that's a phone. Yep, it's Teddy.
Thank you, Teddy. Isn't that amazing
But isn't
how that looks?
And it's nice because yesterday Jay was doing the show from in there, the color pencil, and he likes the yellow wall, which I found out you guys put that together as an afterthought, because you were only going to do the apron and then.
We were going to do the bottom part, and Teddy thought, oh, it looks really funny just to do a little bit. And we took the consensus of the three of us. It was me, Teddy, and Slick as the three of us. And we went, let's do the whole wall yellow.
You know, if she keeps saying that, I'm going to bark.
No, because it was easier.
Because I didn't show up.
Because,
I didn't
no,
come.
that's not why I said it.
That's
because
what she says is over.
It had to
so let's
be-
just put it out there.
it had to
Next,
be a
can you
group-
get me one of these dolls?
a group consensus. I didn't want the
Vinny,
room
were
to be
you
what I
here
wanted.
Saturday?
No, he's working.
Oh, but they don't throw you under the bus. I was not here. I did not have anything to do with the beauty.
Slick's still waiting for the 5 bucket.
I'm going to bring you a bucket. I'm going to put your name on it.
But look how nice it looks to have your show in there, to host your show, a
It
morning
looks
show or
beautiful.
any type of show. So our Total Holistic Life show is going to be using that studio next week for her show.
Really? Wow.
She told me this studio is a little distracting.
And that one isn't?
No, because it's more confined.
It's
don't
just
have the
as
vastness.
distracting. There's a beautiful stuff going. What do you see what I'm going to do with the studio now? Because
Now what? See what happens? But the whole thing, it really came together for Ant Media Productions. Thank you, Teddy, for that as well.
very nice. Now we have Tina Weiss in here with hugs and smiles. Did you recuperate? You got to talk into your mic.
I did recuperate. It took a couple of months of a lot of hard work, but because of you and on such short notice, you made my production happen. I thank you so much from the bottom
Honey,
of my
we
heart.
just turned the on button off. We turned the on button on. We didn't do anything. We just put it
No,
out
the
there.
crew did a lot of editing on that
They did a
piece.
lot of editing, which I needed, but I actually put it together, and it kept on changing from production person to production person. So I'm really grateful. At least you were able to put it together very, very quickly. And because of COVID, there are so many unknowns and variables that you really don't know what to expect. But last minute, you kind of just put it out there, and the right people show up, and you were the right people. And I'm really grateful, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you. We say it is always about the kids and
It's
giving
always
back.
about the kids.
And it was a great production.
Who put the piece with the art gallery, that 3D art gallery together?
Okay, now, I actually had the template, but my friend Garvin B. Harry, who happens to be a production person and worked with Island TV for many, many years, he does a lot of TV production as well. So he said, Tina, I have a great idea. You have an art gallery. These are the templates, and he literally put it together for me. But in addition, a lot of those artists gave me those pieces. And my friend, who happens to be on my advisory board, Elsie Fuller, who actually is the photographer at Broward County, he wins a lot of awards. I brought over 22 pieces of those pieces to his studio. He did it all for free for me. He is amazing. So a lot of these people really believe in what we're doing here, and they want to give back as much as they can, and that's how the gallery actually came about. So now when you go onto the gallery, you just go and you click on to my website, and you can see all the pieces from all of the artists that happen to be
And
there.
some of
which
those
is-
pieces are still available, correct?
Oh, yes, they are. And plus the fact, this is why I'm here today with Max. Max is a family friend. My parents have known him, and that's how
He
I
built
know
your
him.
house.
That what?
He built your
I don't
house.
know, but they lived really close to each other years ago. However, every time that I would go to his house when I finally moved back to Florida and I saw his work, I said, Max, one day we're going to do something. And he's been kind enough to give part of the proceeds back to Hugs and Smiles. So my plea is today, please, Valentine's Day is coming. And if you want something for a loved one, these pieces are so unbelievably unusual.
Yeah.
Unusual. And a lot of and like I said, part of the proceeds goes back to Hugs and Smiles for us to continue our programs, which actually start on February 8th with 2 artists and one of our dance instructors on February 8th, February 9th, and February 10th. So we're promoting Max's artwork, which is incredible. And today, on top of everything, regardless of the price tag you see, we're giving a 10% discount in addition to part of the proceeds going back to Hugs and Smiles. And it's a write-off when you do buy it through Hugs and Smiles. So I just wanted to share that information, and I want to say thank you, Max, so much. I mean, he's also family, and so we're all in this together to really make a difference for the future of the kids. Because today the kids need arts, music, and dance, and they deserve to have this for free, and a lot of these kids can't afford it. So that's what we're putting out there, and thankfully, after the production, I'm getting a lot of response. I'm meeting with a lot of very interesting people. This is going to be a very unusual month, and the next time I'm here, I will share exactly what is happening.
Excellent.
But please, look at this, look at all of these incredible art pieces. Like I said, within the next 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, 10% discount, and you're going to love it. And he personalizes everything, and you will never find anything like it.
I love that. You could put a sash, Happy Valentine's Day for a golfer, a doctor.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are 6 or 7 pieces in here if you pick it correctly. I love the little robot man. And he's going to
I
go
love
take
all
it.
of them.
But the little robot man has a special, it reminds me of my son Gio. Think about it.
That's hilarious.
Isn't it? And I'm thinking,
You want to buy it?
I do. I really do.
You've been wanting that piece ever since he brought it in.
I did.
Yes,
and
you did say that.
somebody wanted to buy it, and I sort of put my head down and didn't say.
No, what he did is he raised the price for them, and they went, "Oh, I can't do that."
Stop.
Well, if you notice, all my robots are not just standing there. They're doing something. They're
Yes.
playing golf. They're being a doctor. Some of them, I have some others that are cooking,
The guitar player,
guitar playing.
and you have one up on the wall. There's
Musician robots are very popular.
But that little guy that you're gonna go so you can plug it in, I'm gonna tell you, it reminds me of my
I'll
son.
bring it back Friday.
That little robot I call Gio because it reminds me of him, and there's just so many moving parts. The Lucille Ball that Jay Harmon drew, and it's in Studio A. And I hate to admit this, there was a buyer, and I doubled the price.
Oh.
So I probably had to buy that from Jay, and I did it on purpose. There's just certain pieces in here that I don't want to let go, and I know it's dumb. That one behind you has a story too. I don't want to tell you.
Really?
Yeah. Well, what can I tell you? Now I'm gonna have it blinged and everything else. But yes, we'll move them. Eventually, we'll move them, and I'll make them do another one.
Actually, what I want to do, I want to go to commercial break. When we come back, I want someone to do a spot here. We're going to move camera 2 over here because we keep looking and no one knows what we're looking at.
Right.
Just bring Teddy with the same setup she had for Studio B.
All right, so let's take a commercial break, get that set up so we can see the artwork of Max Lazega, everything that we are talking about, the golfer, everything that's in the studio. Actually, Teddy can even bring it on the other one.
Yep.
We're going to have our roaming camera through the studio, and we'll be right back.
Teddy!
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800. Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke? If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation, staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
The guy you know from No Pun Included, or attended, whatever I feel like. Today I want to talk about the Brooklyn Cafe merchandise. We got all you need. The shirts, the mugs, the masks, the robots, maybe. We don't have Freddy's yet, but we will have it soon. Now go to our store, thebrooklyncafe.itemorder.com. And now back to Dawn and Freddie. Bye.
Bam. You nailed it.
He's so funny.
BrooklynCafe.itemorder.com for all of your Brooklyn Cafe Show merch. Merchandising, I tell ya.
Holy smokes.
I know.
I never heard you do that before. Merchandising.
Merchandising.
All right, so we have our strobe camera. Strobe, is that a name?
A roving camera.
A roving camera. And there's roving people walking in. You pick the fine time, Lucille. Let's put up the roving camera so we can take a look at some of Max's stuff.
We've got Max Lazega's artwork all over the Brooklyn Cafe Show Theater. Let's bring the V-Mix over. Slick, there you go.
And there you go. That's that little robot that's up on the wall.
As
she's
we
coming
stroll
over to
around the lobby.
And there's the guitar man and Gio on the left.
It does kind of look like Gio.
It does. There's the guitar man.
Does he play Wonderwall?
He plays Wonderwall. And then on top, you see little Gio right there. That's Gio. And then show the car. Put the car. That's an outstanding piece, by the way.
That was in collaboration with Jay Harmon and Mark Dane.
It is. That's not Max's piece. I just wanted to show it. So we had that whole corner lit up. All right, come on out here so we can show some of the pieces out here. It's really unique. You can build almost anything, right?
Behind the scenes. How do you like this? Nice. Always leveling up. I make everyone a little bit off kilter. But these are all these spectacular pieces.
There's the golfer. There's the glass that changes color. I have an artist. I've been talking to her. When she saw this piece, she wants to do fire art. You ever heard of fire art, Amy?
What's fire art? Oh, you did tell me about that.
They use a paint that you ignite, and it lights up afterwards and leaves it. It's kind of cool. But this is Max's whole unique piece there. That's the doctor piece there on the right. That's the golfer on the left. And then you have the tree of life on top.
And these, I think, would be such a great gift to personalize.
And there's the orange, the blue, the small one in between, which I think is fantastic as well.
And that blue one, dare I say, is really my favorite because every time I look at that blue abstract, I see something different. The blue and gold abstract is spectacular.
And then you have the big one underneath. See the big one underneath, and the little one to the right. I mean,
Behind the scenes in the theater.
All sorts of stuff going on. And then if you want him to build something for you for a special occasion, he's more than, listen, he finds parts all over the place.
And then we have this piece also, which is amazing.
Amazing stuff. But I'm glad that we're able now to have the revolving. Look how simple that is.
How do you like that? Sometimes the most spectacular things are right in front of you. The little
Sometimes simple is
tweaks.
easiest, right?
Right? I mean, Vinny doing the merch store and our camera crew just moving the camera around the studio. A spectacular way to share the information.
It is, and you get to see some of the good stuff. I love the lobby. I think the lobby pieces in there, it all lights up and comes to life. And welcome to the family. I'm just going to move some pieces around to Studio B because you got to keep doing some of the loveliness.
I know. I know. Now you want to redo this room.
And now this room is now.
This, I got to tell you, this is beyond my scope of painting.
This is on the radar.
You gotta
I want to
bring
use
someone
fabric.
in.
I want the reds over there, the reds. So I'll do the reds. Anyway, I'm going to talk to Teddy, not you. You're.
Dawn, I have to thank you for something. You gave me a great idea with the Tree of Life. I'm going to make one for myself with my family's names.
Wow.
All the way from my mother to my wife's mother, right up the Tree of Life. And I'm going to keep it in my house, but I will photograph it as an idea.
That's
that people-
amazing.
as a commission piece.
Maybe commission
They
Tree
just
of
have to give me the
Lives.
names and the order of their status in the family, and
I think it makes such a great legacy
would be
piece.
great
you know, and
idea,
especially
great idea.
now that it's all about family and leaving your legacy.
Right.
And there's actually another company I want to reach out to. It's called the Legacy Closet, and it's a donation site. And it's pretty much, if you donate it, great. If you need it, take it. If you can donate, great. No, nothing asked. But I think right now this year is all about a legacy and what you can leave for your family or your loved ones or your friends, whatever your legacy is, and that makes the difference. Because people, I don't think, are collecting things and tchotchkes anymore. It's what's powerful, whether it be artwork and really making that investment in something spectacular, giving back to a child, things that make a difference in your heart to say, you know what, I've made a difference in somebody's life. But Max, I can't wait to see what you create.
give me a week.
A week.
But I tell you, Tree of Life is really, really popular. They have some of those sites where they go back for centuries. Like I found out my uncles were on Ellis Island, and the signatures are in the books.
Amazing.
And I didn't know that until my cousin decided to do this thing. But you talk to people like Dignity and stuff like that who do legacy type of deals. I think it could be a home run.
As a commission piece, I could actually put some religious emblems. I could put a Star of David, or I could crosses, and custom made for your family.
I
Great
think that's an
idea.
outstanding gift. Jeez Louise.
What a
It'll
great
give
gift.
it'll give me a project to do. You know?
There you go. I wouldn't want anyone to
need
be
another
bored.
one, right?
Another
project.
I'm working on 3 pieces right now at the same time.
And if you need to put a second floor in here, knock yourself out.
Can I have the whole second floor?
Whole second floor. We're moving
You
on
build
up.
it. You build it. You can have it. I just want to go up there once
Here
in
we
a while.
go.
Do you remember when we moved down to Beasley and we played the Jefferson? You said, we're moving on up. Moving
I
on up.
got a question for you. That up there, Teddy had put that as the podcast loft up there. And the problem we're having is how to get up there without using a ladder. Can you create something that will, I saw something where the ladder folds into the wall and comes out and it's a Oh, Nelly.
Like a library ladder,
Yes,
too.
yes,
You could get a
yes.
library ladder that moves.
But this is even better. This is actually a ladder. It creeps up into the wall and disappears.
Okay.
And then you pull it out and it becomes a staircase.
You can also get a circular staircase. They're ready made.
I know, but the fire department may get mad at me.
No, they won't like it.
But if I do it with that flexible ladder, then nobody ever know the difference. It's a piece of art. Max put it together.
There you go. I forgot to give Tony a passcode, so I'm going to give her that also. Amy brought in a new painting, which is, when you see paintings and things photographed, you never realize the size of what they are. And see, you guys, is Tony in?
Tina, they want to know how to get in touch with Hugs and Smiles real quick.
Yes. Hugsandsmiles.org is the name of the organization.
.org.
.org. And also Tina at hugsandSmiles.org. And also you can call me on the office number 954-501-0524.
Excellent. And Max, if people want to commission some of your works, how do they get in touch with you?
You can reach me at my website, or you can reach me at my phone number, which is 786-326-8873. But also, people don't realize, if you just Google my name, Max Lazega, probably 12 things will come up about me.
Well, I
Way
would
back
have
from
to-
my contracting days, and it'll also mention Artwork Studio, which is my company name, Artwork Studio.
Is it true that you built something out of a mallet? Somebody told me that you put something, or a hammer, and you made a work of art out of it?
Not yet. Not yet.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Did you see that? It was
That's the
like,
week
boom.
after next.
There you go.
I've got
After you
some
do the
piano
other thing.
pedals for you also.
Right. Remember that.
I got a box.
That's
I just
creative.
couldn't throw it away.
You know, you should bring some of your paintings that you have hidden in your closet out.
Get out of my head.
Because that works in the Tree of Life, yes. You should
I've
do
got
it.
so much artwork
You
in my
could put
house.
the Tree of Life behind one of your artwork that you never show anybody. And then it becomes even more of a, I wish I could draw. I can't even do stick figures because it comes out wrong. But
It never comes out wrong.
can you imagine having that and your artwork behind it and the Tree of Life of your family in front of
You
it?
know, there's so many great pieces, and what I love that we get to do here in the theater is spotlight artists, because we've all had to change how we get our information out there and how we show in different visibilities.
True
And we
that.
get to share all of these things and really say, you know what, make that investment in one special piece of art. And Matt, I would love to get this doctor-patient robot some exposure into the hospitals, because I was just told that there are no ICU beds left open right now in Boca Regional Hospital because of what's going on. And what's happening is horrific, and our first responders, our medical community, and our teachers, but I don't have a teacher robot yet. But for the medical community to see this, I think as first responders is amazing if we could just, you know, get in one of the hospitals. I spoke to David when I saw him at the Green Market. He said send him a picture.
The Pino? I forgot to send him a picture.
He said send him a picture and he will talk to Tenet, because really it should be in a hospital for everyone to enjoy.
Tennis should have one in every hospital. They have over 3,000 hospitals. Can you imagine? You'd be busy. But they should.
What's really amazing, on top of it, we could help the kids that are in the hospitals with the sale to the hospitals for Hugs and Smiles. So that's kind of why we hooked up, and I think that would be a great idea.
So see if we can get that into one of the hospitals. Bring some joy, the golf clubs, all of it, a tree of life, bringing in your family legacy. And I'm excited. We've got Tony Mackenzie, our Manchester studio, joining us. And yes, your flight to happiness is going to join us. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to bring Tony over. We're coining a term that she shared with me yesterday, facing February. So what it's like to face February in the middle of everything we're going through. They're in England, we're here dealing with our own stuff, and everyone's dealing with things. So facing February. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you could put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
Hi, I'm Tracy McDonough, owner and founder of Healing Moments. Healing Moments is a healing playroom, a mind, body, spirit center. Our service is love and compassion, and the environment is soothing, peaceful, and inviting. Every area is designed for healing and peace. We deliver services such as massage therapy or lymphatic drainage, energy healing and Reiki, chakra balancing, physical vascular therapy for circulation and pain, vibrational medicine using frequencies and oils, and music in order to calm and relax your mind, body, and spirit. We also offer detoxification services using infrared sauna, ionic foot baths, and power plates. All of our modalities are designed to reduce stress, anxiety, induce relaxation, relieve pain, and provide detoxification and inflammation reduction for optimal healing and wellness.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock nonstop to promote over 500 shows and businesses reaching all over South Florida. With added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio, it's never been easier to get your voice heard by millions of listeners. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And it's over to camera 3 over the other side of the studio. Have a seat, my friend.
All right, guys. This segment of the Brooklyn Cafe is brought to you by the one and only Gubba Rum. And Gubba comes in 2 flavors, which is the coconut and the amazing vanilla. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth. And now back to the Brooklyn Cafe TV show.
I never seen a guy rebound so fast.
Zoom, nice rebound on that one. You know, it sounds like he's heating up some lunch back there.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
What are you heating up back there? A special surprise. And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show on our Wacky Wednesday.
Is he eating a shoe back
You know,
there?
I told you, Adidas is making shoes now out of sustainable mushrooms. So you can actually eat them.
You can eat your shoes. That's
what
what I
do they
think.
say? I'll eat my foot or something? Is that a thing?
Put your foot in your mouth.
So we have now named this new piece. It is called Disco, DISC-O. We're going to roll into our 1 o'clock hour on our Wacky Wednesday. We've got Tony Mackenzie from our Manchester studios joining us, author of Your Flight to Happiness. So let's bring Tony over.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks, Dawn. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Frederico. How are you?
Federico. I got more names. I got like 600 aliases.
Federico.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. And you?
I'm doing very well. I have an acquaintance in London who also wants to get involved, so we could do some extra networking because, you know, we do hear what's going on over there, and I know that it's a little difficult, but we will be putting you in touch with somebody to see how that works. Actually, there's 2 people. So Manuel wants to get involved in Spain, and then I got somebody in London. What's her face?
All right, okay.
Me and names, I hate it.
What is happening in England?
Well, not a lot at the moment. As you know, we're in lockdown, so we're pretty much confined to the home, apart from going to the supermarket or a short bout of exercise, and that's about it. But just getting on with life day to day.
Monica.
How are people doing with that?
Well, some better than others. I think, as I've said, I'm just turning the volume down a bit. Sorry, turned you off altogether then. Yeah, some people better than others, and as we've talked about before, it's all about mindset. How people react to what's going on. Two people can be in the same situation, and one will react in a calm, relaxed way, and another will become very anxious and get really worked up about it. So it's not what's going on around us, it's how we react to it.
No, it is all about mindset. And we were talking yesterday about where we were going to go forward with this segment. And you told me you're doing a presentation for a group. They're called Facing February. And I said, is it okay if we borrow that?
Yeah, I'm sure Sue won't mind. It was in Sue France's group. Sue was my first guest on this segment last year.
And I brought the book in because I know Freddie wanted it, but I'm going to be taking it home to continue to read it. But I wanted
you have to order your own copy, Freddie.
I should order you your own copy, actually, so you can have this. But there's so many things, and we talk about this, and I wanted to go kind of through this step by step, because instead of just telling people, you got to do it, you really have to go through the process of, here's step one, fear of flying or fear of failing. And I love that you say it's impossible to fly when you're carrying a heavy weight, and we need to identify what that weight is before we can let it go. It's like this albatross that's weighing you down. We can't go anywhere. We can't fly if it's holding us down.
No, and of course flying is about first love yourself, and growing your wings to and being able to fly, love yourself, is so important and at the basis of any kind of mindset, mind power work. So yeah, it's becoming aware of what's there, what's holding you back, what's still affecting you from the past. And once, if you're not aware of something, you can't do anything about it, can you? But once you're aware, then potentially you've got the right tools or advice or support, you can then get rid of that heavy weight and release it and set yourself free to become the you were born to be.
And I think it's really interesting. She talks about two primary emotions. We talk about fear all the time. What do you think the other emotion is?
Fear is one emotion?
If we have two primary emotions as
primary emotions. I don't know what the other was.
Slick, what do you think it would
Happiness?
Yeah, probably happiness. You're probably right. The opposite of fear.
The opposite of fear.
Or success or something like that. Yeah, something. That's the opposite.
Yeah, but that's not really an emotion. The actual emotion is love.
Oh.
So those two primary emotions are fear and love.
You're right.
And under fear comes all, so the anger, the hatred, the jealousy, the anxiety, that all comes under the emotion of fear. And kindness, love, happiness, generosity, it comes under the emotion of love.
And so much of this book, I'm reading this last night, Freddie, and I'm thinking of you because you tell me when I get crazy and angry, you say to me, and stressed and anxious, you could tell me, that's all fear. And I say, no, it's not. And here she writes it, that's all part of fear.
Yeah.
But why is that all considered part of fear when we get anxiety and stress?
Well, anxiety is fear, isn't it? It's fear of something that hasn't happened. It's fear of the unknown very often. And when we get stressed, when you look beneath the surface emotion, why are you feeling stressed? Obviously, there can be various different reasons. You might be running late. You might have a heavy workload. You might have an unhappy relationship. Whatever it is that's causing the stress, it's bothering you, it's making you feel unhappy. And there's generally sort of fear involved of what that situation might lead to in the future.
You can also have fear of success, You can have fear of moving up the ladder. You can have fear of doing something that somebody's going to ask you to do, and you don't feel like you're in your comfort zone. Control is control part of fear. So if you can identify it, how do you compensate? How do you overcome it?
Well, there are various different methods that I use with clients to help them let go of those fears. But as I said before, initially it's just becoming aware of what's there, because so often most people have emotions and they don't stop and think. They don't know how to stop and think why that emotion, why they've got that emotion, what's at the surface, what's leading to it. So by becoming aware, then you can think, okay, right, that's why I'm feeling so stressed. I'm afraid, I'm fearful of losing my job. I'm fearful of my relationship ending. I'm fearful of being late and getting into trouble or missing something. So yeah, but as you said, Freddie, about the fear of success, the first chapter in my book, the first step, is the fear of flying or the fear of failing. So both can be things that people fear.
You know,
Might
it's really
go wrong, or what if what I want happens and I can't cope with it, or I fail, or I get found out. Going back to that imposter syndrome thing again.
That imposter syndrome, I'm not good enough, why me?
Yeah, and if only they knew, they wouldn't have given me this job, or, you know, people feel as though they're big, an imposter, they're acting in a certain way, but deep down inside, that's not who they are. So there's a fear of being found out.
You know, it's so funny you say that, because I usually say, why not me?
Yeah.
You know,
well,
I go in a different direction. Now, I got to tell you, I'm afraid of heights, right?
Yeah.
And my sister, who has some shrinkage, she has some shrink knowledge, being a shrink, says to me that that was a fear of failure, my fear of heights. Because the higher you go,
That's interesting.
the higher you go, she told me this. She says the higher you go, the more afraid you are. That's why I would never jump out of a plane.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's an interesting theory. I mean, generally, when I've worked with clients who have a phobia of heights, it's related to things that happened in the past, but they may not remember it. It may come up in hypnotherapy, but it's not actually, it's funny, it's interesting. Babies are born with only two fears. One is loud noises, and one is falling. So actually that falling, you know, the height, that can kind of relate to that. But mostly when people are afraid to go in elevators or planes or stand on top of high buildings and look down, I think everybody has to a degree that feeling, that sort of standing on a high building, looking down, getting that fear of falling. But some people, it's really intense, and that's generally because something's happened at some stage of life, probably when they're very young, that's connected to heights and perhaps falling.
And the other side of this, and you talk about this, so much of this probably happened when we were young, in our childhood. Things that we hold on to, that something happened and we've attached this feeling and this emotion to it. And now we're left with it as an adult. And you may not even remember what it was as a kid. How do we get past that?
Well, that's what I work with hypnotherapy. So it's very difficult when it's something that's happened in the past and it's buried in the subconscious mind. It's difficult to access it consciously because the conscious mind is only 5 to 10%. The subconscious mind is 90 to 95%. So throughout life, whenever we learn something new, we're focused on it consciously, whether it's a baby learning to crawl, and then once they've got the knack, they're away, and then learning to walk, taking those first steps, learning to ride a bike, learning to drive a car, and all of those things we then, once we've learned, we do them without any conscious thought at all. You know, you can drive from A to B, you can get there and think, I don't remember the journey, just go into autopilot and your mind goes off elsewhere. So things that happen in childhood, they're relevant at the time, but over time they're relevant to the conscious mind, but over time they just become buried. So the experiences we have when we're very young, we don't remember, or even if we do, we don't necessarily associate them with the surface issues. So people will come to see me with a particular issue, whether it's anxiety or lack of confidence or a habit that they can't kick, smoking, drinking too much, gambling, whatever it might be. And they say, well, this is my problem. And yes, those things are a problem, but they're always related to something beneath the surface.
And that's
And
finding that
they
what's in the subconscious mind. And you say, Freddie always teases me, I've got 25 pages, 65,000 thoughts a day.
You double
Yeah.
it.
But here's what's interesting, Tony, and I can't even do this, and this is only chapter 1, everyone, and there's so much information in this book in every chapter. You talked years ago about getting a rubber band, and every time you say something bad, snap it. Tony writes about that in the book.
I know her.
And eventually, you're going to stop wanting to hurt yourself, and you're going to maybe have some positive thoughts.
Or you're going to lose a wrist.
Or you're going to have...
Well,
Now, Tony-
that's not quite how I explain it.
That's how he explains it.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but in my book, I give it as a technique. And the idea of the rubber band is just a visual reminder. So every time it catches your eye, you then pause and check what you're thinking. So it's not kind of when you get a bad thought, you then go to the rubber band. The rubber band is a reminder. And then once you notice it, you kind of check in, what am I thinking right now? And if it's you're worrying about something that hasn't happened, you're going over the past, you're putting yourself down, then you just command it to stop and give the band a little ping, not causing yourself any great pain, and then just banish the thought and turn your attention towards something positive. And if you keep doing that over a period of days, your mind gets the message and then it just realizes it hasn't got free reign, that you are checking it and stopping it.
Now, I created the COVID band. The rubber band goes around your forehead, and you pull it and smack yourself in the head. Because I tell you, we could use a whole lot of that right now. But I wanted to ask you, our society is built on fear. Do you know that when you're in the first grade till your masters, 2 masters, 3 masters, whatever, PhDs, do you know since first grade, day 1, you are installed in fear? Testing, failing in school. And then if you get braces or glasses or something, there's more pressure. Peers, weight, not eating, doing drugs, drinking, doing everything you're not supposed to do, and don't let mom and dad find out. Since day 1, first grade, till your PhD, till you finish, even then you go to work or you start a business. We have grandkids. We live in a society that installs fear. Going to church. I was an altar boy for 8 years, and I felt this big. I felt guilty leaving from being an altar boy. Installed
Well,
fear.
you were a Catholic. You brought up a Catholic, Freddie.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. And I write in my book about sin and going to confession on a Saturday at the age of 6 and having to kneel down and confess sins and be pardoned. And you're 6 years old and you think, well, I haven't committed any sins, but to say I haven't committed any sins would be punishable. And of course, you are a sinner. We're born with in mortal sin, and if we're not baptized, we'll go to hell, burn in hell. And there are all these rules and regulations in a lot of religions. A lot of religions are built on fear, aren't they? They're man-made laws and rules.
And then we're trying to have our society, our kids, come to the fact that, I want you to be yourself. I want you to raise your awareness and all that. When so many years of fear, you're spoon feeding them fear. You're giving them the wrong food. You're sending the wrong message. Look around now. Look around now. We ain't making it better. We're making it worse. It's really scary that you are writing the things that I have always said.
I'm telling you, I'm reading this book, and it's so many of the things that you and I talk about. But the idea is to stop those negative thoughts. The idea is to get out of our subconscious mind of criticizing and look in the mirror and say, I love myself. And I love this quote by Louise Hay. You've been criticizing yourself for years and that hasn't worked out. So try affirming yourself and see what happens. Try something, and you're in my head going, try something new. Try loving yourself and see how that rolls.
Yeah, and again, going back to childhood, we're taught that it's kind of vain or conceited to say something good about yourself. It's wrong. You've got to stay small. Many of us are anyway. And again, that's connected to religion. Stay small. Don't put yourself out there. Don't shine your light. Hide your light under a bushel. It's all that sort of negative stuff is fed into us as well. So most people tend to stay small, and then they look for confirmation that they're small, insignificant, unworthy, which is taught at an early age very often, whether it's verbalized or it's just a message that we receive, non-verbal. And then there's that thing of not believing that you're not good enough, and carrying that through life. It might be one particular thing that you're not particularly good at. And nobody's good at everything. Somebody might not be so good at art or sport, or might not be tall, or think that they're not tall enough or pretty enough. And then that becomes this, I'm not good enough. And then we fear what people think about us and hold back. And we're afraid to speak out and be ourselves in case we're judged, criticized, mocked.
It's like I said, I want to take her and have her on the screen, and I want to do a worldwide hypnotic suggestion. I want you to hypnotize everybody that watches and change their path. Can we do that?
If only we could.
I think we could.
The thing is with hypnosis, people have got to be open to it and want that change. You see stage hypnotists who are entertainers, and it looks as though they've got the power to control people's minds and make them do silly things. But because they're entertainers, it's all done for the audience. They have little tricks that they can use to temporarily confuse people's minds. But you can't actually make anyone do anything unless they are giving you permission. Some people are more susceptible. Some people believe that they've got power, so they kind of hand over their power to these hypnotists. But other people know that, there's no way I'm going to start dancing on the stage like a chicken. And the hypnotists generally get a lineup of people on the stage, and you've maybe seen this, and they'll go along the line and they'll send people, maybe they'll invite people from the audience to come up on stage, have them lined up, and then they'll go along the line, send certain people back to their seats, because looking into their eyes, they can tell whether they've got the attitude, you're not going to get me, or I'm totally under your control. And they keep the ones that they can see or sense that will go along with what they tell them to do. But in reality, we couldn't just go out there and hypnotize everyone to change their ways.
In the end of chapter 2, and this is what we say all the time, we all have choice. Whatever we do in life, we have choice on a lot of the things we do. Things in our past that have led us to where we are, things that we choose going forward. And you say here we can actually change some of our affirmations by I choose. And that's how we start them?
Yeah, exactly, because I say in my book that I wasn't confident as a teenager. And I read in a magazine that if you look in the mirror, say, I am confident, I believe in myself, you will become confident. I had friends who were confident, and I used to think, wish I could be like them. So I read this article and thought, great, I'm going to go home and do this, thinking it would magically change me. And I looked in the mirror and said those words, and the next thing I saw tears running down my cheeks. And I was saying, no, I'm not confident, I'll never be confident, this isn't going to work. Because with affirmations, you don't use affirmations if they're true. You don't need to look in the mirror and say, I'm confident if you are. So affirmations generally at first are actually lies, and your subconscious mind knows they're lies. But if you say, I choose to believe in myself, I choose to be more confident, I choose to know I'm good enough, then you're not lying, you're actually stating the truth. You do choose those things. And by saying that, and you're allowing in that positive thought. And it's very empowering to say, I choose. It's acknowledging that you have the power of choice. Obviously, as young children, we don't, but as adults, we do have the power to choose. And we can change the way we think and feel by making different choices.
I think they're great words for, as we go into 2021, facing February, what you choose. Now's the time to make a difference.
I choose?
You choose. I choose whatever it is you choose. I choose. And that is what she talks about.
What you choose to feel, what you choose to think.
I choose to believe in myself. I choose whatever it is. I choose to love myself. I choose to eat this for dinner because I choose whatever it is.
You know, it's really, it's funny because there are certain people in society that use these words as triggers. Muhammad Ali, he was the greatest, and he always walked around saying, "I am the greatest."
Yeah.
Because he rose his level of belief higher than his opponent, and he did it for years.
Yeah.
You got the guy that we talked about him with the black hair. What's his name? And he tells you how to be a better person in business.
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, Mr. Robbins.
Yeah.
You want to talk about hypnotizing people? Have you ever seen Tony Robbins work? He brings a frequency and he stops his production until everybody comes with him. And he tells you, now we're going to blow the roof off this house. He's the best. He is the best because what is it? You've heard I choose words a year ago. They were just different words. Who's the greatest in your house? I am the greatest. We talked about this.
But sometimes people can't say that, but you can say I choose, and maybe that's the bridge to getting you to say that next step.
That's it. Exactly, yeah. I mean, if you can say it without I choose, great. Say I'm the greatest and I believe in myself. But if you find that difficult and you're actually thinking, like hell I am, who am I trying to kid? Then add I choose until it feels comfortable to say it. And what we choose to focus our attention on creates our reality. If we're looking for the negative, looking for the bad in people, in situations, expecting things to go wrong, then we're likely to see things that confirm that those things are there. But we can turn our attention away from as far as possible, like avoid the news. You know, you get to pick up what's going on in the world without sitting down and watching every newsreel that's full of negativity. And I know we're curious and we want to know what's happening. But, you know, when you sit there and watch all that negativity over and over again, and there's very little positive stuff in the news, it drags you down, makes you feel bad, and makes you think the world's a really bad place. When, in fact, in reality, there's so much good going on in the world. That just isn't reported, is it, in general?
How do people get your book?
They can buy it online through Amazon, and if anybody goes onto Amazon and it says temporarily out of stock, it is print on demand. So if you put your order in, you will get it quite quickly. I've been onto them recently to try and sort that out and get it through faster. And there are other sellers on Amazon that sell it. You know, beneath the main Amazon ad, it's got other sellers. And also Brenda, who does the show on here, she bought it from Walmart online.
Oh.
So yeah, various different online bookshops it's available from. Just start with Amazon, see how you go.
Thank you, Tony. Tony Mackenzie, your flight to happiness. I think this should be everyone's journal for 2021 because after each chapter, there's actually a place for your thoughts. So this can actually be your working workbook as you go through 2021.
That's right. Place for your thoughts, and there's an exercise to do that will help you to change. And there's one very powerful exercise that we'll perhaps talk about next time, and it's called Emotional Freedom Technique, which is shortened to EFT or tapping. And that is an amazing self-help tool. It's based on acupuncture. It's an energy therapy where you tap acupoints, and it can bring down anxiety, it can bring down any negative feelings or cravings or anything you don't want to have very quickly. I've been using it for 15 years along with hypnotherapy. It's very powerful, and that's in the book, how to do it. But we can maybe talk about that one next time. It's at the end of the next chapter about taking responsibility in your life.
That's a whole other thing.
That's a different show.
Next week, tune in for more with Tony Mackenzie, your flight to happiness, taking responsibility for what you want to change and choose.
Yeah.
Not easy.
And if you want to reach out to Tony, I guess if people wanted to, now you do, everything is being done virtually. If people want to talk to you and do some sessions with you or talk to you about getting better, you know, this is a tough time for everybody. And sometimes we need a little bit of help just to get up in the morning and shake it off. Maybe you want to reach out and talk to Tony personally. I gotta tell you, everything I'm thinking you've written. So either I met you in another life, or man,
that's what I think.
You're really good.
Yeah, maybe we did. Well, my website, can I just mention my website is Inner Depths, INNERDEPTHS.co.uk. And that's got all my contact details, phone number, email address. If anybody wants to email me, ask me any questions, there's lots of information on the website. There are pages on all the different methods I use and different issues. So, you know, please just have a look on the website and feel free to contact me and have a chat. And I do work with people all over the world online. using hypnotherapy and other methods. So, if you wanted to actually work with me, that could be arranged too. But even if you don't, you could just ask me questions, and I'm happy to chat and be as helpful as I can be.
Thank you so much, Tony. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Bundle up.
You too.
We'll stay in
Yeah,
touch.
have a good week. See you next
Tony
time. Bye,
Mackenzie. Bye-bye. Your Flight to Happiness. You can check it out. Just Google it. Amazon.com, Walmart.com. And yes, it is print on demand. If you can't find it, they did that for us, sent it out. And it's a great book. It's so much of what you and I have talked about all these years that here I am reading it.
Would you hurry up and read it?
Yes. I'll get you your own copy. I'm going to get him his own copy. You can write your own thoughts down. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more with our wonderful Wednesday. We had Amy Warshevsky in the house. I got to see, Slick, what you eating in that cup?
Oh, it was a delicacy that was with whipped cream. It was it was Oreo overload with whipped cream.
There's still Oreo overload?
No, it was too solid, so I had to basically microwave it for 30 seconds.
We still have ice cream in the fridge?
Yeah. Mucho delicioso.
All right, we're going
There's
to take
ice
a quick
cream in the
commercial
fridge.
break.
Yeah.
You can't have any.
We'll be right back.
Have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They have been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses reaching all over South Florida. With added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio, it has never been easier to get your voice heard by millions of listeners. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact AMP2TV at 866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. Are your health issues stopping you from living the life you've imagined? Are you unable to do the things you want to do due to chronic pain or chronic health issues? Have you seen many doctors, taken multiple medications, but are still suffering? Or are you simply looking for ways to boost your immune system and live a long and healthy life? Total Holistic Center is the solution you've been looking for. We provide you with out-of-the-box, cutting-edge scientific technologies for true health, wellness, and anti-aging via phone, in-person, or virtual video consultations. Some of our services include total wellness consultations, where we dig deeper into underlying root causes of chronic health issues, and personalized 360 wellness protocols customized specifically just for you based on your individualized biomarkers. Visit us at www.totalholisticcenter.com or call us at 561-323-4994.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. What was that? What is your quote?
What's your quote?
The quote is about, because, today in history, Coach Carter came out. I don't know if you guys watched that movie.
I love that movie.
But the quote was, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. So our light, like us actually reaching those measures that we think that is untangible, is what fear is. That
fear to succeed.
Yeah, basically.
But do you think that that's your fear, or do you think that's a fear installed?
Probably a fear installed.
Isn't hate something installed?
Yeah.
Love installed?
Yeah.
I mean, she talks about it being a natural instinct, but there is different levels of love. There are people who have different understandings of love. the love of eating, the
I
love
was
of
hungry
cookies.
and they brought us back from commercial, so sorry.
That's okay, but the interesting thing about it is that your body gets ahead of your brain, and all of a sudden you're doing.
My body
things,
said, "Go get something to eat," and Vinny goes, "Rejoiner."
But it happens, and then you have male love, you have child love, you got female love. It's this whole different spectrum of all of that. Complicated world we live in.
But fear definitely is.
Seriously.
And I know we were going to do this day in history 111 years ago on radio broadcasting.
Oh yeah, on radio. Oh yeah, I can have.
First public radio broadcast 111 years ago with vacuum. See, Max might be onto something.
Yeah.
Yes, you would be on camera. This is
You're
a
on
TV
candid
studio.
camera.
As a matter of fact, you have to hold on to a microphone to talk.
Oh, I am talking. Okay.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you. You have a show coming up. And who are you? What are you talking about?
I have Susan Podolsky coming on, and we are talking about how important art is to children. And we are. Are we on? Okay, good. And we're talking about art that Susan has was in charge of finding artists for the Beck campus for Temple Bethel. And we're taking a tour of the artist and the art. And I am one of the artists, so I'm excited to share that today. So that's really cool.
So what did you discover? How important is art to children?
Oh, I think it's enormously important, and especially when the children come into school and they go through the lobby and they see art around them, and different holidays they'll go and they'll study the piece that's in there. So it sort of gives the eye-hand coordination of what the art's about, and but I just think in general it's very important to bring your children up understanding art, because I think the last generation wasn't as directed towards the arts. You can find that a lot of families don't have art in their homes, or they'll have posters or something that's really not original or anything for them to understand. So they lose that lack of understanding, and because art, music, any of that is so vibrant to their upbringing.
It's really interesting. You ever gone to seeing these world famous artists, and these paintings are worth millions and millions of dollars, and it has an eye over here and a toe over there.
You wonder how and why?
And then it's the story behind the art that's really selling, right? Yeah. It isn't the art itself, because a dummy could have painted something like that, but it's what I guess it explains
the history, I guess,
of the person or of the art.
To become famous in a museum is tricky. I really never could understand how.
And you're an artist.
Yeah, I know. There's so many artists out there, and who gets chosen for that, that venue or to show the eye and the ear and the lost ear or any of that. That's an interesting whole study, I think.
And they talk about the artist and its period, like that dark side and the upside and the light side and this side.
But I think it makes a difference, because if you see the second Studio B, we moved all of Jay's paintings around because COVID put him in a dark space, and he's talked about it. And I wanted to keep them in there, but I didn't want them front and center anymore. I wanted to move forward. That's why I put them on the other wall, so we can highlight it, but it doesn't have to be on every set. Because there are different periods that you go through in art. And
absolutely. And
changing things around in here. And someone said, oh, can you take the triptych down and put it on set? I'm like, yeah, can you get up there and take those 3 pieces down? And I'm like, but there's a lot to be said about what you create. And all the colors that you bring forward, Amy, they're always unbelievable.
Thank
and
you.
Always creative. And I'm excited about this show, because I haven't been to the Beck campus, I can't even tell you how many years. But I remember spectacular.
Yeah, and I'll talk about how I put it together, and to this day, I can't believe I did it. It's one of those things. I did a painting this week. I don't know why or how, but when it came out, I thought it was going to resemble somebody that I might talk about today in the program. But then I had asked my grandson to give me a name, and he gave me a name of Olivia, so I went with it. But
I think I had something in the back of my mind, and so that'll be a surprise later.
Do you know in Olivia?
No, and neither does he.
Does
That
he?
unless he's a little girl in school. I don't know. She's a little girl. I don't know.
You never know.
Another mystery of art.
Yeah, I have
never
to
know.
find out when he gets out of school today.
It's a great piece, though, so I'm excited. You're going to show it today on the set.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's really getting ready. It's got a little blue paper around it just to cover before it goes to get its matting and frame.
You know, the amazing thing about artists is that we can sit here and talk about one of your work of art for days. And then you take the work of art and you put it in somebody's home.
Ah, what a
and
difference.
it changes everything. And everything she said was like, huh? Because the whole room changes. The energy of, and we had a show yesterday talking about energy with Tracy from Healing Moments. And we had Mark in here who does plants. And we were talking about, Ivy was here talking about how to coach different energy levels and everything else that you do. And the unique thing about art, I've never been this close to art. And one side of the room talks to the other side of the room, that talks to the other side of the room. And when I walk through the lobby and I sort of look around, and now you have that going on over there and this going on over here. Even the bathroom in this place has art.
I actually took a couple signs down, so I was going to ask you, we need some smaller pieces from the loft to put in the bathroom.
I like the bathroom.
I took some papers down, so now I want to hang another piece up.
What do you mean you took papers
All
down?
the COVID protocols on washing your hands. I'm like, you know what? Everyone should know how to wash
your
their hands right
signs.
now. Our signs. I'd like to put another piece of art up there because I'm hoping 10 months in we all know now
Don't
how
be
to wash our
changing my
hands.
bathroom's structure because I know everything is in there. And I
No, I didn't know
analyze
the
it when I go
80
in
pieces. I
there.
want to put another piece in there, so I want to find another small
You
piece to
ever
put in
have
there.
bathroom reading material?
Yes, we used to send out our MailChimps and you would make a
So,
bathroom
so
reading
instructions are bathroom reading material?
Yes. Do not disturb the bathroom.
material. Do you know there's a Dollar Shave Club, and with every
Yes, I belong to it.
you get bathroom reading material
Yes.
from it, right?
And that's why I have my own bathroom. And I will never live in a house with one bathroom.
But the
again.
art can be the
Me either.
material you can read, while you are
My
doing your
bathroom
business.
is my throne.
I understand.
Do not disturb anything in my bathroom.
Without art?
Yes.
I
the
took
art
the tush
can
out.
leave you.
What? Yeah, you did. And I was very disturbed for 3 days.
Were you?
Yeah. I'm saying, what the hell, man? First of all, when you're a baseball player or a football player and you're doing well, you don't change your socks. You don't change nothing.
I think they do.
No, they
Miss
don't.
Dawn wanted us to make a couple changes. You get bored in there. You got to have new
I
things.
think LeBron
I
does.
get bored in there. I find a new thing every time I go in there.
And congratulations, you sold the Princess Duck,
I did.
which is fantastic. It's a great
Now,
piece.
they're funny because this goes with the Princess Duck.
Yeah.
You failed to
did it-
have mentioned that to her.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will. Actually, I'm going to move them today. So
Are you taking this out today?
I might take the duck home and wrap it up. So
Just to wrap it, yes. I highly suggest you do that.
wrap the duck.
And then
Yes.
we'll put, we have, I got
yeah.
to.
Oh, you have to talk about that green
I got to
piece?
talk about the green piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. They,
We had a ball
they
with
are
the green
unmerciful.
piece.
You have to see what's at the bottom of this piece too.
Yeah, I see it. You're very clever.
We had fun with the green piece. Yes, we had fun with that on Friday with Wayne. He was on a dry January, so I don't know if he's still doing dry January, but we had fun on
He
that
is
one.
until February.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But it's a great piece
Wow.
because you talked about the colors of 2021 being green and beige.
Right. Yeah, green, beige. Yeah, that's the new colors.
So I kind of almost match.
You have the
I got
green-
beige on.
you have
This was
brown.
one of the brown dresses I was going to send back.
You have
Remember I told you
brown.
I went on this brown
Yeah, but that's
kick?
cute.
Thank you. Thanksgiving, I got caught up in brown because the catalogs all were brown. So I got 7 dresses and they were all brown.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I got to send them all back. And you know what? I didn't realize they were like all final sale. There was one or two I could send back, so the rest I'm donating out.
Why?
Because
you
I
can't-
didn't know they were final sale. They
So
kind of
what?
just get you. They suck you in
And
on
with the
that
final sale,
Thanksgiving
yeah.
Black Friday thing, and you
Bring the
buy.
dresses in, Slick will wear them.
I wouldn't wear the dresses, but she
Why
did the
not?
right
You-
thing. She did the right thing about
you
like
in touch
donating
with your
them.
femininity side.
I am in touch with it, but I am not wearing the dress.
We don't know what the dresses look like.
No, hard pass on the dress. That's
you did
not.
a nice job today running
Yes.
floor,
That's
running
a
the
good show.
board,
Mm-hmm.
organizing everything.
Yes.
You came running out doing Gubba, and Chenzo did nice on the merch store, which I really like that segment. We need to add that
You
to our
saw how he
lineup.
puffed out one side of his chest?
Well, he had the mic in his other, so he needed a
He
free
needed to
hand.
go like this with the
He
mic.
had to go like
It was
that.
zoom.
But that was great on a merchandise. I know, Amy, I have to get you a mask. Teddy has them all size, so small, medium, and large. And get Amy a mask as well.
It's funny because artists, again, getting back to the topic of artists, all different. Everything's different. You guys had the amoeba behind me, which was funny.
What amoeba?
The green painting.
The
Because
amoeba.
Dawn's cooking.
Amoeba.
Do you know that Dawn puts everything in the freezer so it doesn't get green in it?
Ah.
Or she scratches it off. She makes soup. She says, Freddie, you want some soup? I don't ever want it again.
I made fresh soup yesterday. I had to throw the other
Thank you.
stuff
Get a
away.
pass.
I didn't bring it
Hard
for
pass.
you.
Hard
But
pass.
yeah, the mold. Teddy's like, learn from the mold that you do not scrape around mold. You need to throw it away.
Out. Yes. Don't scrape around the mold.
Throw it
Do
away.
not have a piece of moldy bread and think you can take off the mold part and still eat the good side. Because
And
there's
Amy,
no good side anymore.
We have the glass table in second studio, so that's
Mhm.
the Aurora studio. It's all
Yes.
bright and sunshine, and it all came together around the table. And the red and the yellow, I don't know how it all came together, but it all looks like we planned it out beautifully.
I like the way you put the little Brooklyn one on top of the
You
other.
like that?
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
came out nice.
So that came off of that. We put it out there.
Mhm.
Good.
And it looks nice. You got to just move things around. It's like staging. You just got to move things around, and it feels fresh.
Do not move anything from the bathroom.
Yes, you have to. You have to freshen up the bathroom.
What, are you taking a shower in there?
I'm not saying taking a shower in there, but when you walk in, you're like, ooh.
Oh,
this
you
is
walk
same
in there, you
shit.
go, ooh?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I really do. With the paintings, yeah.
You go,
Do they talk to you in there?
I mean, I can't say they talk to me, but it gives
two
a
glass
different
ladies
feel.
in there.
Yes, they do. He has conversations by himself.
Me in
Yeah.
there?
You had a
Maybe.
conversation a couple of minutes ago, I heard you.
With
Yourself.
You don't talk to yourself? I do.
I know you do. I know that for years.
Question, answer, and we keep going. Everyone's hungry today. I guess we got to get some food in here.
You're hungry?
Vinny's
Everyone's hungry.
Everyone's
I wanted
hungry
to tell
except
you, when I was in junior high school, I went through this brown kick. I had brown this, brown that.
You're thinking of my dress?
No, because you were talking about brown. So I did this kick for like 10 months, and my sister comes up to me. She says, what is it with the brown? Everything you do with brown. And she called me diarrhea man.
Jeez.
Okay, everything was
harsh.
brown. The pants. Remember the marshmallow shoes? You remember those? They were brown. They had the white around them. Were browns. Brown pants, brown shirts. Everything was brown, 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 brown.
Harsh.
Harsh.
Gotta get your sister on the show is what
I
we gotta
kind of
do.
I like brown. It's kind of cool.
Isn't that one of my favorites? But it works for winter,
Bring
fall.
in the dresses. Bring in all the dresses, and we'll have a little fun with it.
No, you can have fun with the
I
dresses.
don't want you to wear it.
Okay. Okay.
Flick's flexing his muscles on this one. He's
Yeah.
saying no go.
No.
We'll hold them
go.
up and we'll have like a trivia.
Oh, Digit City trivia with
You
the
and
dresses.
Digit City is all I can tell you.
Win a dress.
Win a dress.
Give me your phone
Win
number.
A dress.
Win a dress.
Win a date. We'll go to Great Wine. And, you know, we'll kick it off there.
He's
you
getting
know?
he's getting slick. He's getting slick.
And we need to do a segment on Coca-Cola because you see our Coca-Cola collection has evolved. So I put it all together. PBS.
What did he bring in?
He
The
brought in
salt
salt
and
and
pepper?
pepper shakers. We had some of those other things from Israel. So I guess Coca-Cola collectibles. If we get a call on that later today, you'll know why.
I know. We're not supposed to even mention it.
Are they antiques or something? Okay.
Little
I guess
antiques.
so, some sort. All right, everyone. Thank you, crew. Everything. Great segments, great spots. Check out that app, which is making authentic friendships for people with autism, making friends, especially now during a pandemic. That was a great segment. We had Max Lazega. We had Hugs and Smiles with Tina Weiss. Find Your Flight to Happiness with Tony Mackenzie. The Art of Amy Reshevsky. Slick, you all did a fantastic job. The tech spot that Hector put together. Stay tuned at 2:30 for The Art of Amy Reshevsky, coming to you as she spotlights the art of Temple Bethel for kids. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
Sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna say and craters, open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche, helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just to reapply.